Hello and welcome to Newsfeed, your daily dose of what people are talking about online, from news stories to what's trending. Now, things have been tough for Twitter lately, and it could be about to get a lot worse. The platform is already facing backlash for ruining user experience by essentially paywalling the site and TweetDeck. Many users have flocked to other platforms like Blue Sky and Mastodon. And now there's another new kid on the block who could be Twitter's biggest threat to date. Sari has more.
The end of social networking as we know it is here. Reddit has just gone through a brutal battle with its user base. Trying to fit into the picturesque life standards of Instagram is bad for your mental health. No one's really on Facebook. Governments are trying to end TikTok. And the so-called town square Twitter is dying from a slow and painful death of questionable business decisions. Users have long been trying to migrate to Twitter alternatives, like Mastodon or Blue Sky, since Musk took over the platform. Yet, nothing seems to have gathered mainstream attention. Now, the biggest player in the social media game is sweeping in to fill that void.
I've been looking and waiting really for everybody else to go somewhere that didn't exist until maybe a few hours from now. Facebook, or Meta, or whatever they're calling themselves today, is basically going to be releasing an app called Threads. Threads will allow you to bring your Instagram username and all the people that you follow from Instagram over to Threads and give you a Twitter-like experience.
Threads was kept secret for most of its development, but this week, a pre-order version of it surfaced on app stores. It was listed to launch on the 6th of July on Apple's App Store, and Meta has set up a countdown website for Thursday. The platform is described as a place for communities to come together and discuss anything and everything. Although the app is standalone, users will be able to log in with their Instagram accounts, allowing them to keep their established communities. Unlike the tech giant's other walled garden products, Threads will be a decentralized network. While Meta hasn't elaborated on whether the app will have its own protocol or will be connected to others like Mastodon's ActivityPub, decentralized networks typically allow users to shape their experiences and interact with other platforms as if they're all one. When asked about the upcoming app, Zuckerberg seemed ecstatic about running an experiment with what he calls a text-based information utility.
What happens if there's somewhat more decentralized control, and if it's the stack is more open throughout? And I've just been pretty fascinated by that and seeing how that works. This open and federated approach, where you're seeing with Mastodon, and you're seeing that a little bit with Blue Sky, and I think that it's possible that something that melds some of those ideas with the graph and identity system that people have already cultivated on Instagram could be a kind of very welcome contribution to that space.
Meta excels in designing social media. Its 2 decades of practice will likely result in a better user experience than other Twitter rivals. And with Instagram's over 2 billion monthly active users, Threads is definitely coming to shake up social media.
Christian Peter Hoffmann is a professor of communication management at Germany's University of Leipzig. Professor, Meta does have a history of borrowing concepts, as Reels are said to be a TikTok copy and Stories a knockoff of Snapchat. Now, from what we've seen so far with the leaks, is Threads like old Twitter?
It seems to look exactly like Twitter. If we look at the screenshots of the interface, it looks exactly like a copy of Twitter, exactly the same functionality. So it seems to be very much a ripoff.
So Threads has been in development since January. Is that enough time to create a seamless UI with few glitches? And on this scale, seeing as it rolls out to an immediate Instagram user base of hundreds of millions?
Well, interestingly, I think Elon Musk invited the establishment of a copy or an alternative, because when he took over Twitter, he basically fired a majority of the staff. And he's been running the platform with a skeleton staff, which seems to signal that it's possible to offer a platform like Twitter with relatively little development and human power behind it. So it seems to be possible to develop such an alternative relatively quickly. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Threads is going to be actually supplanting Twitter. Maybe it's just going to complement Twitter.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. There's been a lot of criticism that Musk changes are running Twitter into the ground, and that those changes have prompted many users to flock to alternative sites like Blue Sky and Mastodon. Do you think that this Threads app, could it be Twitter's biggest competitor yet? Do you think it could turn out to be the Twitter killer, as some people are saying online?
Well, the alternatives so far haven't actually been very successful if we look at Mastodon or Post.news or all of the others. So experience shows that the social network we establish on an app like, for example, Twitter, is quite difficult to transport to a new alternative platform. It's easy for an individual user to open a new account somewhere, but all of your friends and contacts aren't necessarily going to join you. So it's not unclear whether people will actually collectively flock from Twitter to this new app. But on the other hand, of course, the advantage is that people will be able to use the existing network they already have on Instagram on Threads as well.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. There'll be about hundreds of millions of people who immediately will be able to just use Threads with just a simple Instagram login. Twitter essentially has become an essential tool for journalists and politicians. Now, who do you think will be on Threads?
Well, it is going to be based on the existing user base of Instagram. I mean, Instagram is a very widely used platform. And if we look at the user base, it's a little bit younger than Twitter's user base. And I think the culture of Instagram is geared towards somewhat different topics as well. It's more of a lifestyle-oriented, more entertainment-oriented platform. So I would expect that Threads, initially at least, is going to be more like Instagram already is than Twitter. And as I said, it's kind of unclear whether politicians, journalists, and intellectuals, academics, and so on, who are currently using Twitter for their exchanges are then actually going to switch over to Threads.
Thank you, Professor, for those insights into Threads and what the social media landscape could look in the coming months. Is Reddit winning the war against its own community? While the platform's defiant stance over controversial API changes seems to be holding, despite blackouts and some significant apps shutting down.
Over 60% of all of Reddit shut down, closed their doors, so no one could join. This went on for 48 hours, but afterwards, some subreddits still said that they'd remain closed. That is until they got actual threats from Reddit admins saying that if you don't open your doors, there's going to be big trouble. Even hinting that they would turn moderators against each other if it was necessary. Now, this is all because of a change Reddit has made to its API to increase their profit margins. The problem is with this change, people that have made custom APIs to make the Reddit experience better, they've been shafted, with some of them having to pay $20 million a year just to keep their services running. And now apparently a hacker group called Black Cat has gained access to 80 gigabytes of sensitive Reddit data. And what are their demands? To reverse the API changes. And of course, a cool little $4.5 million on top. And now some subreddits that are being forced back open by the admins are only allowing pictures of John Oliver to be posted on there. The situation overall, it is just insane.
Certain subreddits ensured the site couldn't play ads on their pages by designating themselves as not safe for work communities or allowing adult content. The protests were a united show of strength to get Reddit to change its policy. But the changes have come into effect. Reddit is not backing down, and many communities have backtracked. But Reddit hasn't come out of this unscathed. Around 70,000 users have migrated to decentralized alternatives like Lemmy. That number may be small for now, but imagine what could happen if subreddits with millions of members announce moves. Reddit could start dying, whereas other sites flourish. Even though similar online migrations like those from Twitter to Blue Sky or Mastodon didn't create drastic results, Reddit is different. As members of a platform with nearly 2 decades of self-governing experience, Redditors could easily adapt to what most consider too complicated. All right, it's summer. That means concert season is in full swing, bringing together music lovers from all walks of life to enjoy their favorite stars' live performances. However, there's a noticeable change in the air, and TikTok is getting the blame. The app has revolutionized the concert experience, with fans going to great lengths to create viral moments for their 5 seconds of social media fame. From peculiar antics to disruptive behavior, Some concertgoers seem determined to steal the spotlight away from the artists. The consequence, a rise in incidents that disrupt performances and even harm the artists.
This is your mom. I don't know how we feel about this.
Recently, Pink's live shows have been in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Fans have started passing bizarre items to her during her gigs, such as a dead mother's ashes and even a wheel of cheese. Meanwhile, BB Rexa was struck in the face by a flying cell phone. Ouch. The offender later admitted to doing it for the sake of humor, knowing that the incident would be recorded and shared online, granting them an undeserved worldwide platform.
Good, yeah, I'm feeling alright.
And a supposed Ava Max fan managed to bypass security and slap the pop star on stage. And Kelsey Ballerini was struck in the eye by a bracelet that was thrown, causing her to stop playing until she recovered. Throwing things on stage has become such a norm that artists like Tyler, the Creator, Hayley Williams from Paramore, and Adele have had to take action.
Understand the logic of throwing your up here, not only for safety reasons, but bro, I don't want your I don't want it.
Get out!
I will embarrass both of you. Both of you need to find somewhere else to take care of that. That's not happening here tonight.
Have you noticed how people are like forgetting show etiquette at the moment? People are throwing stage. Have you seen that? I dare you. Dare you throw something at me and I'll Stop throwing things at the artist.
Despite pleas from true fans and artists, the disruptive trend persists, with some audience members belting out song lyrics louder than the singers themselves, annoying other fans and the artists themselves.
Sitting at home and she thought, are you well?
All right, on to what's trending. For all Barbie fans out there, get ready to experience the ultimate dream come true this summer. As part of an exciting marketing campaign for the upcoming Barbie movie, the world-famous Malibu dream house, bathed in vibrant pink hues, is now available for a once-in-a-lifetime stay on Airbnb. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to live in a Barbie world, mark your calendars for July the 17th when Ken's room becomes available for booking on Airbnb.com. The catch, there are only 2 individual one-night stays for up to 2 guests each. Selected winners will get to stay at the Pink Mansion on July 21st and the 22nd free of charge. And to ensure you have the most comfortable stay, a dedicated concierge will be on hand to assist you with settling in and organizing your meals. Just keep in mind that the promotion does not cover flights to and from Malibu. However, controversy is never far behind. There's another dream house in Europe that has stirred up quite a storm in Berlin.
Wir sind hier, gegen das Barbie Dreamhouse.
We are here to demonstrate against Barbie's house because it gives an image to society so perfect that it cannot be reached. We don't want to support this ideal. We don't want children to have that dream that they won't be able to fulfill unless they undergo an aesthetic surgery of some sort.
And that's our show. Find us on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.